Namaskar, Saiban. I am deeply obliged. Kindly accept my heartfelt thanks. Before I start, I want to convey my thanks to Professor Dan D. Jolender, Texas, for giving me two CDs, and I developed this with my team. It took us 2.5 years. Mr. Asutosh Gautam of NHI, Mr. Noel T. Boniface from Australia, Mr. Satender, and some more. So this was passed in 2008. It has been revised in 2018. So I will get started and request you to kindly put as many questions as possible so that I am able to remove the doubts to the extent possible. Let me say I am not an expert, but over the years of 34 years of experience in concrete roads, I have gained some knowledge and I want to share it and assimilate it with all of you. That's all. Thank you. Now I'll request, yes. This is the first slide, and this is third lecture in the series of lectures. Before we go ahead, it's a very, very important topic. Rather, it is the topic of the day, and I may complete this presentation of 140 slides in 2 or 3 because I will request and expect that many questions will be generated and we should go slowly but surely. Next. International conference was held by IRC in 2019. I was one of the keynote speakers and I coined out this term at that time. India paves concrete waves for prosperity. So I fix it before my any presentation. So this is for all of you to consider, and if the Honorable Chairman thinks it appropriate, this can be adopted also. Next. In 1994, I went to Highway Research Station Madras, Guindy, and on the entrance board, this was there. Aristotle, a great philosopher. The search for truth is one way hard and another way easy. For it is evident that no one can master it fully or miss it wholly. But each adds a little bit to our knowledge of nature, in our case of roads, and from all the facts assembled, there arises a certain grandeur, एक भव्यता उत्पन्न होती है. So I just prefix it, I liked it. This is by a great philosopher of the world, and this is fitting into our system of rules perfectly. Next. I developed this concept of project management, and this is, out of my thinking. When we used to attend the World Bank workshop, there used to be some murgi, some hen. So I said, what hen will do in the road? I project this. This is a project, barrel, 3. Contractor I have put in between. There is employer, that is NHI, PD, and others, and engineer. We call it IE or AE. The contractor needs force of both. And the 3 legs of this theodolite have to be balanced. Otherwise, this will not perform. So my humble request is this I developed and hope somebody will take lesson from it. The people in the field have to make a balance. If I call it in Hindi, सामंजस्य बैठाना है, सामंजस्य. Yes, now the presentation starts. Please. This presentation mainly describes different kinds of defects which can develop. What are these? Minor cracks, medium cracks, wider cracks, process to fill the same, also full depth repair, partial depth repairs, replacement of slab, complete or partial. I have added partial also now. Most severe transverse crack, how to deal with this. Blow-ups. It also describes all kinds of defects under 5 major heads. The worn-out texture surface cases have been dealt. The resealing of transfer and longitudinal joints, corner cracks has also been dealt. Before I proceed, I pay my obedience to late Mr. Sunil Vanekar, a friend of mine. He was head of concrete pavement division in Federal Highway, USA. And perhaps I am the only engineer from India who has visited Federal Highway, USA. So he introduced me to Dr. Dan D. Jolinger, Texas A&M University. I had a couple of presentations, couple of lessons from him. He was working on a problem of shaper, which FSW had interested in. And I requested him, he obliged, he sent 2 CDs by FedEx. I developed them, this is one of them. And then we prepared this document. This is the most sought after document. This maintenance, repair and rehabilitation of CC pavements. It took us 2.5 years, a lot of research and a lot of calls to USA and then us to Australia. Next. Why do we need maintenance? Concrete roads properly designed and constructed should require minimum maintenance over its design life. However, properly timed maintenance may extend the life of pavement beyond its designated service life. Now I will dwell on it. What do we mean by properly designed? In the previous lecture, I had shown that a well-constructed but poorly designed concrete road is better than well-designed and poorly constructed. This is a sentence I picked up from Chicago conference on long life concrete pavements, where I represented India along with 5 more colleagues. I was sent by IRC there along with late Shri V.K. Sinhaji. Now, all people will say, most of them, oh, concrete road, they don't need repairs. This is a myth. They do need repair, but they need less of it. So let us remove this from our mind that concrete roads do not need any repair. They do need, but comparatively less. बोलो मत भाई. So extend the life of pavement. This has happened in so many cases. In USA, we were shown a slide whereby proper maintenance, a 30 years life road was serving well even in 46th year. So if we maintain it properly, it will serve us well. Example, Delhi Mathura Road, which I constructed 31 years ago, is still serving the country very well. We do not know whether its life was 25 years or 30 years because the design is not available in the ministry. Next. Like any other pavement, concrete roads also undergo stress and strain due to traffic load and climatic conditions, climatic effects, change of weather, seasonal and periodical. Daily. However, as long as sport is very important aspects, uniformly distributed. Any variation or change in sport due to moisture change, etc., has little effect on the performance. Now, what do I mean by this? Sport is uniformly distributed. See the soil in embankment and subgrade. Also, your GSB and DLC. They should be uniformly functioning, not settling down. Now I'll extend it further. If you kindly refer to my previous lecture, I had shown by actual experiments done on Delhi Katra Road Package 2 that we are all inadequately compacting our roads. I'll request Sinha Sahab, Rohit ji, to circulate those two presentations to all who could not take advantage of listening to me at that time. The 98.6%, it could be compacted to 98.6. Actually, it was done to 94 or something, or 97. This kindly take your mind for a minute to page 66, table 300.2 MORTS specifications. On the right hand corner, it says the minimum density to be achieved in the field will be 97% of the lab density. Now, all engineers, please let us reckon our thinking. It says the minimum, it does not say the maximum. So, what should we do? What is the compacting level of density? We are not meeting that. All the engineers, the contractors, and the authority engineers will kindly share with me, when you go on a road, you find long longitudinal cracks, mostly in the wheel path or in the vicinity of the wheel path. Secondly, you find the central longitudinal joint widened. It was 8 or 10 mm. You will not find it less than, say, 20, 23, 25 mm. Why? The basic reason is secondary compaction of earthwork in embankment and subgrade, which we have failed to realize. Well, somebody can question, Mr. Jain, what are you talking? It is not proper. We are doing it 97%. Fine. See Delhi Mathura Road, 30 years. Recently, see Jodhpur bypass. I inspected it in February, I think 24. And because of certain reasons, the traffic of both sides was plying in one carriageway. Some ROBs and some other structures were under construction. Not a millimeter of settlement. Then I went to their laboratory. It was being managed by a PhD. I checked up the record. Nowhere it was less than 98.5. Then why are we satisfied with 97? This is causing a lot of problems and we need to tackle it very seriously. So, at the cost of repetition, Sinha Sahab, please circulate these to all those who are attending today and even more. Constructing proper construction and jointing practice will eliminate most of the premature distress. Otherwise, some shrinkage cracks may appear before the road is open to travel. Yes, fine. Proper construction. Now, this is a very wide term. This involves your preparation of concrete, transportation, temperature control, humidity control, so many things. And jointing practice. I mean, the initial cut of joints, final cut of joints, proper sealing, putting properly take a road, all these things they need. Somebody has raised this at PD Bhimani. May I request that Shri PK Jain may fix a time? Should I reply simultaneously or at the end of the presentation? It is open to Shri PK Jain. जैन साहब आप कैसे चाहेंगे सर?
जैसा आप उचित समझे सर.
नहीं, it is up to you, sir. I can reply simultaneously as well as After this, I think
हमारे
after
जो
will be
प्रैक्टिस है
only
उसमें लास्ट में ही वी विल टेक अप द क्वेश्चन
because
आफ्टर प्रेजेंटेशन सर इट विल बी बेटर
that will benefit all of us.
ऑल ऑफ
So,
अस यस यस
PD Bhimani, I request, sir, we will take it after this is over. I wish to, this is very important, I wish to complete this 140 slides, maybe in 2 or 3. It is not enough today, no, not enough time. Okay. So otherwise some shrinkage cracks may appear. Now, how do we cure prevent these shrinkage cracks? I had given a curve taken from Federal Highway in last presentation. If we do the misting in time, most of them are eliminated. This is tried and tested by me on Sumriddhi Expressway from Bombay to Nagpur. Next. Sir, next. Improper construction practice may jeopardize the structural integrity of the. Now, if we do not construct it properly, maintenance will be very much demanding. To realize full benefit of the investment made, it is essential to maintain and repair the received payments timely and regularly. The defects are mainly due to poor sub-base design. That is another your DLC and GSB are not properly designed. Poor pavement design, improper jointing, loss of support. Loss of support again happens due to settlement of subgrade and embankment, due to erosion and other reasons, possibly overloading also. I'll pause here. Poor pavement design, this is ruled out. Our designs are good. Improper jointing is still existing. We do not care properly for constructing a joint. And let me inform this house. Professor Dan G. Zollinger, Texas A&M University, he had given 4 PhDs only on joints. I saw some of his works physically. So this is very, very important. And we have to be very careful. There is a request to our consultants. We have to think beyond the box. I take pride in saying so, that our consultant, late Dr. Raymond Sharp from England, I have learnt a lot from him. We checked the CBR all along the road where it was to be constructed, bringing the soil from the borrow areas. Only at one place it was 14%. Otherwise, it was always CBR, always soil CBR, always more than 20, 30, 35. He said, Mr. Jain, why do we waste the money? I don't want any GSB. Only road in the country. Sir, at the cost of repetition, only road in the country where no GSB was used. And DLC was laid directly on this subgrade. I constructed 35 kilometers of it in Haryana sector. So, my humble request would be that do some research and go beyond what is written in the books and develop. We go on seeking, always it is written like this. Let us try to create some precedent, not always seek precedents. So it is essential to repair. The defects are mainly due to, I have said it, there is no need of repetition. Next, sir. Sir, next. In the book, I have listed out maintenance. Routine maintenance, it embraces. Now, before that, I describe, then some, I have written this maintenance manual for NHI. Mr. Venkat Raman, friend of mine, He called me. Jain साहब ये आप करिए, because it was lying with CAS for 2.5 years. So I attended office of NHI for 12 days, and I am happy to say that this is being used by NHI now. And I would request that this should also be circulated, because our contractor said AI, so many of them do not know. And let me tell you, I got it checked from Dr. Shiraz Tayebji, who was our advisor from USA at that point of time. This was perfectly, he made some corrections, and then I submitted to NHI. These maintenance, routine maintenance and emergency maintenance, they are all given in this book, page 7. I will request to go through it. And then routine maintenance mainly involves keep the pavement functionally performing. Start immediate, and approval from higher authorities should not be awaited. Not applicable for severely damaged pavement. Now, let me give some example. PD Ghaziabad. He has taken me to EPE 2-3 times. One more visit I will do with Professor IIT, retired Professor K.S. Rao. I am seeking time from him. I am not criticizing, only bringing to your kind notice, sir. There was so much of grass growing in the cavities. Then there was a delamination on the curb and channel. Very simple solution I have given in IRC 15, that if such thing happens, just pour this bitumen in it, modified bitumen. It will not allow the ingress. What is happening because of that? Water is getting ingress, it is eroding. That is erosion. I did not mean the erosion on the sides of the road. It's a very simple thing. Now, who is to care for it? Who has been entrusted the responsibility to look after it? Next. So this, I have developed it from there only. Vegetation growth, line marking, road marking, signposts. Some of them were not there. कईयों का मुंह दूसरी तरफ था. Then drain cleaning, most suffered portion. Monitoring condition of pavement, cleaning of pavement joints, restoring eroded shoulders. Here, on joints, I want to say something. In IRC 15, I have provided that all joints should be, rather must be inspected twice in a year, April and September. I gave these 2 months keeping in view the conditions in north. They can be before rains and after rains. Some of them would have either got embrittled or they came out. That portion needs to be raked out and to be refilled as per IRC 57. And I am sorry to say, sir, I have not seen anybody doing it at site. Again, water will go in and erode it. Then road marking, this of course everybody is doing. Then restoring the eroded shoulders. The shoulders, they get sunk. 21st protocol in this says shoulders are settling down. Not much effort is needed. A few tippers of earth, moisten it and then compact it. That's all. Is it happening? Can some PD or A assure me? After this, sir, I have ensured it. These are very small things. A stitch in time saves 9. Unfortunately, this is not happening. This needs to be cared for. Next. As we program 5-year cycle or 6-year cycle for flexible payment, such thing is also programmed for maintenance of rigid payment. It is incidental repair, filling of pop-outs, potholes, generally planned activities such as resealing the defective joint sealant. What is a pop-out? We have aggregates, and in those aggregates there may be some soft particles. With passage of time, those soft particles, they get eroded earlier than their neighbors, and a small hole is created. So in this IRC SP 83, we have given the treatment for that. Just widen it and put some concrete, that's all. Otherwise, this may lead to crack, may. When potholes, they appear, why do they happen? When we construct the road, sometimes a pool of water is allowed to stand on the surface. In that portion, water cement ratio is different than the other designed water cement ratio. Supposing designed water cement ratio is 0.42. In that portion, it may be 0.56, 0.6. So with passage of vehicle, with flying of vehicle, this will erode. The top surface will go. It will skin off. And concrete below will be wiped out with the pressure of the tires, sucking action of the tires, and pothole will develop. So this needs to be taken care. How do we repair it? I'll tell you as we go along. Next. This is a program to deteriorate the to re-establish the condition of deteriorated road. There are two things in it. This is programmed and methodology is approved. Now, Jain Sahab, kindly get checked up, and your other colleagues also. How many consultants have approved the methodology for repair of CC payments? It is a definite activity, sir. We do it in the case of flexible payments. Why not in the case of rigid payments? How much will be, how much material will go, what will it cost, what size of pit has to be carved out. All these things they need to, because the field people, they have to be told. Then cross-stitching, it is written in probably para 7.2, partial depth and full depth repair. I will deal as we go along. Removing faults with diamond, this is very, very important. The diamond grinding is done. Now I'll define what is a fault. Between the two slabs, in the longitudinal or transverse direction, if the differential level is more than 4 mm, 4 mm or more than 4 mm, it is called fault. I have inspected about 60 projects of NHI and seen fault as high as 12 mm. Naturally, apart from discomfort, increase the VOC, it is otherwise dangerous. And it doesn't cost much, just grind it. That's all, the job is done. And good grinders are the LT grinders, good grinders. These days, this synthetic diamond, discs are available in the market. Slightly digressing from the topic, I am getting constructing Jain temple at Sonipat, my hometown, and I have tried it there. It is very successful, not very costly. So you grind that where the faulting has occurred. That's all. It will do. It will last for about 10, 12 years. Next. Rehabilitation and strengthening, it refers to major restoration or upgrading of the pavement through diamond grooving or restoring the surface texture. Slab stabilization I deal separately. Reconstruction separately. These measures will consequently extend the life. Now let me deal in detail. Rehabilitation of this diamond grooving. See, MORTH and IRC both have specified in concrete roads, NHI roads, where the speed is, the designated speed is more than 80 kilometers per hour. We do not do texturing, we do tining. And each tine, the land width is maybe 5 mm. Depth should never be less than 3 mm. I can say definitely that all the A's put their hand on their heart and see how many of them have checked it. I have checked it 50, 60 places. I did not find it more than 2 mm. It will get abraded, eroded. And if it reaches 0.75 millimeter depth, please do the regrooving. This is not something rocket science. This can be done by these blades, install them on a spindle, and one motor can run them, and it is known as restoring the skid resistance. If we can make it 3 mm deep, it will last for another 10-15 years. And I feel happy to inform the House that late Dr. B.B. Pandey and myself, when we were writing the code, this IRC 58, the code of design, I suggested, sir, let us put it. So we have put there 10 mm extra thickness. If it is 300 mm is coming in your design, please provide for 310 mm. And same should be provided in the DPR. Because that 10 mm will be utilized in doing the retining at least 2-3 operations. This is not happening. Kindly ensure it. Then slab stabilization. If some slab is settled, make some dash fasteners, make some holes at 2-3 point and put CLSM, controlled low strength material. Hold it for some time. After, say, when the final set has occurred, 6 or 7 hours, you allow it to settle. Then reconstruction I'll deal. Now here, Jain Sahab, I want to make a humble request to you. Kindly tell one of your persons, you see,
Yes, sir.
our approach slab settle, and we get a jerk. On every structure, we get a jerk. I have thought of a very novice solution. You kindly make the approach slab in 3 or 4 segments, longitudinal. Do not cast it one, say 16 meter or 18 meter, and put some just like these manholes, and then kunda where it can be lifted. This is also known as suspended slab because this has bearing only on one side. Second side it has no support. In England they call it suspended slab. We call it approach slab. And you do it in 2-3 operations. When it settles, lift it by crane, inject CLS material, control low strength material. It is very simple. 10% cement, rest some 12%, 15% lime, or some then fly ash. And when the final set has taken place, allow it gradually. I am sure at little cost all this problem will be removed, and this tuck at all over the structures will get me. But this has to be tried. Now, why do I say it? I was a field engineer throughout my life in PWD. In village roads or other roads, we do not have space for making diversion. Supposing some culvert is to be raised, half of it will allow the traffic, half will raise, and then cast another half. And when the stress is along longitudinal, it doesn't make much difference. That longitudinal joint can be filled with strip. And when you do it, when it has settled in 5-10 years, remove that strip, put the this thing, kundis, take a crane, lift it, put CLS, inject CLS. I could not do because I don't have the resources. But if somebody does, I can certainly supervise it, give the mixed design for CLS, and this problem, I am very sure, will be done. Now, how do I say it? Sir, I inspect all my works which I have done. Delhi Mathura Road, I went during rains and I found water was going from one side to another. Uncalled for culvert had been built by rains, lot of rains, near village Mandikhela. Yes. So I plugged it and put M10 concrete 10 mm down. Just injected it. Today I cannot find where it is. It was so good. So I am saying it at the because of the confidence I gained over that experience, that experiment. But I will need your support. I can supervise it. Go there, guide them. Next step, then reconstruction or application of overlay. This has been dealt by me in IRCSP 17, and I request people can, because this in itself is a big lecture. These measures will consequently extend the service life. Doesn't matter. Even if it is not expanded, at least it should last 30 years. In our country, the life of the concrete pavement is 30 years. UK it is 40 years. Australia it is 40 years. USA it is 40 years. And some of the US airports have 100 years. But at least 30 years we should ensure. And if we can maintain it timely, I feel it can be done. It can be done. Next. Yes, sir. Emergency repairs, some complaint comes, some truck accident or something has taken place. There some portion of the road has got damaged. This has to be repaired. So this is all given in IRCSP 83 and kindly get it implemented. Next. I have taken it from this book, IRCSP 83. These parameters are given. We are constructing lot many expressways also. These were not in the expressway. I picked up this and improved the presentation in expressway manual IRCSP 99, para 5.4.3. The roughness should be less than 2000 mm per kilometer in every 100 meter length. And I am happy to say at some of the places, initially, not after applying of traffic for 5-6 years, initially we are meeting it. But because of other reasons, it settles and there are distresses. Yes, next. Again, both by late Dr. Raymond Sharp and present Dr. Jalinger, improper misdesign and jointing practice related to inherent nature of concrete to change. I'll tell if some of the A can do experiment. He should take a graduated beaker and put some fresh concrete in it. Do not shake it much, just normal. keep it for 3 hours or even 2 hours. You will find it would have settled by 1.5 minutes. So the concrete, it settles, and because of this volumetric change in moisture and thermal effects, there are some cracks also. They are initial cracks. We'll deal them. Need for crack repair is dependent upon traffic level also. Now, incidence of cracks. Let me tell the house. The cracks can never be eliminated. They can only be minimized. That should be our effort. Incidence of cracks can be minimized by improving mix design and jointing practice with timely saw cutting and properly managed curing. There is no reason a concrete road should not serve the design service line if cared earnestly from design to maintenance. Now let me elaborate it. Jointing practice, I have told these joints have to be properly initial cut, final cut, inserting the Baker rod, all those they are given in IRC 57. Curing, this is most important thing. And unfortunately, very much neglected. If it is properly done, the road will last. The projects which I got built, sometimes I used to put 2 of my own men. They will do the curing and we will deduct the money from the contractor. Because unfortunately, the contractor's crew is not very serious about curing. If it does not happen, then your plastic shrinkage cracks will appear first. Plastic shrinkage cracks, they are not very harmful, but they propagate into deep cracks later on. Next. This is, I think, 18th. This is next, no? Here, this is CPR. Concrete pavement research, concrete pavement repair diagram. You put this down. What is to be done? Bonded concrete, it can be done when the stress is not more than 10%. Then unbonded concrete, this can be done up to 70% also. After that, it has to be reconstructed, or as per IRC SP 17, different treatments are given. And to take this diagram, when I was in IRC, we wrote to Mr. Vaibam, his name was some other name, ACPA. And this copyright we got in 2008. We cannot use anybody's diagram. I had taken so many of them, they said $200 each. Then I wrote that this is not for commercial, this is for educating, transfer. They said India is a friendly country, we give it free. So you'll find all of them IRC SP83. Next. Distress in concrete pavements are two types, either structural or functional. Now the structural distress primarily affect the pavement's ability to carry traffic load. Functional distress mainly affect the riding quality, safety of the traffic, halting, scaling, undulations, pop-outs, potholes, etc., etc. We'll be dealing with both of them. Next. All cracks are not structural cracks. Somebody mentioned about the plastic shrinkage crack. Plastic shrinkage cracks initially are not structural cracks. Any uncontrolled or random crack, like longitudinal, transverse, diagonal, intersecting crack, that extends through the depth of the slab more than half of its depth, it is considered as a structural crack. Up to say 1/3 of the depth. I was reading the I think it was California Department of Transportation, some specification, they say up to 1/3 of the depth, you do cross stitching. That is not, you can take care of that. Next, structural crack is often caused due to excessive loading. They are designed for certain loading. Because of certain reasons, the load is excessive. Joint spacing is more shallow or late showing of joints. This is very dangerous. Unwanted cracks develop, and most of them are through restraint at the base. Now, what is this restraint at the base or edge? Your DLC level is not good. In spite of the fact that we have put polythene, when the concreting in PQC is done, because of its weight in compaction, the bottom of the PQC acquires the contours of the underlying DLC, and it causes restraint, and that restraint finally causes cracks. Then joint lockup. What is joint lockup? Your dowel bar is not functioning properly. Why it is not functioning? Either slurry has gone into it, or the cap is too wide, too more bigger than the diameter of the dowel bar, or it is not properly aligned. It is not in the straight line within the tolerance limits. Traffic control can reduce such structural cracks. Next. Often reasons for structural crack would be pumping of fines from the subgrade or the subbase. Excessive warping because of day and night temperature difference, it warps. Subsistence of utility. Some utility is there, it gets settled, and over there the concrete also settles. And there is a, cavity sort of thing. Then excessive temperature stresses and moisture content. Structural cracks, unless repaired effectively, reduce the load carrying capacity of the pavement and adversely affect they reduce the design service life. This picture, gentlemen, is from LMNHP 6, Gorakhpur. I was chairman of the TRB. When we were inspected, I found half of the pavement is wet. I put this mark in it and found that, and some soil particles were coming out. So then I said, this is dangerous. What happened? Improper supervision. One fellow was putting sealant in the transverse joints. Another was putting in the longitudinal joint. And one depended upon the other. He said he will do it, the other will do it. This junction was never filled with sealant. This came out. This picture is of 2005. This was a World Bank project, Lucknow to Muzaffarpur. And this is perhaps the only picture available in our country which shows these were coming out. Then what did we do? I told the PD and also the contractor. B. Sinaiya was contractor, very responsible, that you inject cement and lime mortar in it. It will stop. And it worked. I think they did it. I am not sure. But this is, I read this. It was not in my previous slide. It says could be pumping of fines. These fines I have seen in my own palm. मेरी हथेली पे वो रेता आ गया उसमें से. Next. These I have taken from IRC SP83. Punch out for the time being you can leave out, because this punch out is for CRCP, continuously reinforced payment. I think NHA has sanctioned some 100-200 kilometers recently. So apart from punch out, all of these are applicable to our present lecture, because we are doing jointed rigid payments, JPCP. Next. Surface distress, pop out, small holes, animal wheel impression, scaling. The quota gentlemen now explained that their payment has scale and they are doing diamond grinding. Raveling. Raveling is a phenomenon which is given in IRCS 83. Raveling the particles. When you do the initial cut, some loose aggregates come out. And nothing to be worried, not to be afraid of. Some of them will come out and let them come out. But when you do the final cutting, say 10 mm or 8 mm, those small things, they will get encompassed in it. The second cut will be absolutely fine. So some raveling that way has to be permitted. Scaling is wiping off of the top fine material. Then deep abrasion. Somewhere in the wheel path you find the concrete pavement as abraded. There is something like inflexible, we call it rut. It's not rutting itself, but something like rut. Scooping of surface. Some accident has taken place and some surface has got damaged. Polished aggregate. This is common with some kind of aggregates. The aggregates become glazy, smooth surface. And if they are so, it will cause skidding. And especially in rainy season, the skidding ends with multiple accidents, one after the other. This is it. Next. Spalling, I told you, difference between the two panels, either longitudinal or transverse, 4 mm or more. Sealant failure or loss. Sometimes sealant comes out. The spalling is different. Sorry, I beg pardon. Spalling I will explain. Spalling is a portion of the concrete comes out near the joint. The faulting was 4 mm, then separation of joints. The PD mentioned that's Ganjam district in Odisha. It was a particular case. And if some of you happens to go to that side, kindly inspect the road in the Ganjam district. That was separation. But this separation of joint you can see on any pavement. Central joint, central longitudinal joint, and shoulder joint. They will be are found to be more than what they were designed. At the most mm, but at site they are 15, 20, some of them 30 mm wide. Reason, secondary compaction of earth. Otherwise, there is no reason they should be like this. Sealant failure. What is sealant failure? With passage of time, the sealant gets brittle. It breaks. And with sometimes with suction action of the wheels, it comes out. So that is why that particular precaution. Every pavement must be inspected before and after use. If it has failed, restore it. You are ensured that it will not cause any problem in future. Next. Follow up, I will show the picture. This becomes a sort of a two panels. They come in a shape of a loose convex formation, pumping of soils I have told, patch deterioration. Some patch was made, stored, it was fixed up, it has got deteriorated again. Hardly any case. Drop off. Drop off at the shoulder gets lower than the existing PQC to a great extent. And it causes accidents. Next. Here was somebody mentioned about plastic shrinkage cracks. It is important not to confuse these cracks arising due to a strain of the concrete at early age, due to misaligned dowel bars, improper joint spacing, timing of joint cutting with plastic shrinkage cracks. Plastic, please go back, sir. Sir, go back. Plastic shrinkage cracks are tight, 1 feet to 2 feet long, and they are 20 to 30 mm deep. They are mostly in parallel, and they are also perpendicular to the direction of the wind. Next. Plastic shrinkage crack is a result of rapid drying at the surface. The cracks normally extend up to 20 to 30 mm. Adequate curing measures as necessary to prevent their occurrence. If the curing is done properly, they will not occur. Experience has shown that these cracks rarely influence the overall performance of the pavement. Therefore, a superficial repair is repairing by injecting epoxy grout. And somebody was saying कि इनको कैसे repair करें? In the session just ended, make a hole, inject flowing epoxy. They'll feel. There's nothing to worry. These are drying shrinkage. Why this drying happens? Because the surface area vis-a-vis volume of concrete is too much. So much of evaporation takes place, and these cracks appear. The good way to prevent is to do misting after 1.5 hours to 2 hours of doing the PQC. Misting or fogging. Fogging I got done on Smurdi Expressway. Next. Drying shrinkage cracks. They are dangerous. Widely deeper cracking usually attributable to the drying shrinkage and restraint developed in the concrete. Restraint, I told you, it is the contour of the DLC in spite of the polythene film will be there, and nascent concrete of PQC will adopt to that contour and will crack. Inadequate joint spacing, yes. Improper saw cutting. Saw cutting should be timely and proper saw should be applied. Misaligned dowel bars. Yes, the dowel bars are not properly aligned. The maximum spacing of joints in a jointed concrete pavement depends on slab thickness, subbase thickness, and concretion. Obviously, American Concrete Pavement Association recommends now this. How much should be the spacing? Well, it is not proper to put all sorts of pavement in this category. ACPA says the maximum it can be 21 times the depth of the PQC slab. Then ACPA recommends maximum 21 times depth. This 21 times doesn't hold good in our case. Supposing it is a limestone, 21 times the depth of, it is 300 mm. So how much it will come? More than 6 meters. There will be definite transverse crack in between this slab. This is observed by me. Next. The concrete pavement is further exposed to traffic riding, environmental influence, namely temperature. Because of that, slab contraction expands and some sealant gets damaged. This may act with overloading or with any other thing. So this environmental consideration influences the moisture content, also the relative humidity, all these things. Okay, chalo. Axial loads are responsible for fatigue and impact failure of the materials of different types, including consequence axial loads are original structural cracking, both shallow and full depth. ठीक है, आगे चलो. Now this thermal expansion and contraction, because of daily changes and seasonal changes, these undergo expansion and contraction. That is why we put anti-friction layer. We call it this thing polythene film, or it can be 4 mm thick non-woven geotex type between the two, and side slabs also compress it. So they can damage it, and it may cause cracks. Now temperature gradient. In 1984, CRI made some experiments, and in every book and every code you will find that table of temperature, in which area how much temperature is going across the, I mean, if the sun rays fall in the sun rays always fall at the top of the slab, how much effect across this it will go up to the bottom. This is it. They also initiate, and the slab curves. Because of that, during the day the slab becomes like this. During night it becomes like this. Again, during the day it is convex at top. During the night it is concave at top. And when this because of this phenomena, the corners of the slab get lifted. And if a truck passes here nearby on this, the truck passes on this corner, it will break. That is why you find all these diagonal full depth crack, they are near the corner, because corner gets lifted, and when it is in concave position, if a heavy truck passes, it leads to cracking. Temperature gradients, that is across this, also initiate slab curling and loss of uniform smooth, yes, which may lead to cracking, including structural crack. These cracks, when they are more than 1/3 of the depth, they are known as structural crack. Yes. Sinha sahab, yes sir. Rohit ji. Mr. Rohit. Am I audible?
Yes sir, आप audible है.
हाँ, kindly जरा अगला चलिए.
हाँ जी सर.
Causes of these are related to workmanship, very important, work methods, as well as equipment operating conditions. Unexpected changes in climate conditions. What is it? Supposing your payment is in Himachal Pradesh or high reaches of Himachal Pradesh. Abruptly the wind changes and the temperature which was 10 degrees may come to 4 degrees centigrade. Such abrupt climate changes, the concrete is not able to adjust to that change. They may cause cracking. Okay. Next. So just to find out why it has happened, you can see the diary of the supervisor. Unfortunately, these are not available. What time it was constructed, what was temperature. I think it is in the library side, maybe. Then speed of wind at the time of paving. If speed of the wind is more than 15 kilometers, what do we do to avoid these cracks? Erect canat on both sides. The wind velocity will get killed. See, the wind velocity, if it is more than 15 kilometers per hour, it affects the concrete pavements. It becomes in a ripple shape. आगे चलो. Functional performance of pavement relates to characteristics of pavement that are important to user. The characteristics primarily include safety as measured by skid resistance, texture depth, and riding comfort. Now take one by one. Skid resistance. If the depth of the groove, as I told you in 10 minutes ago, is less than 0.75 mm, this distress is supposed to have happened. How can it be done? There is a British pendulum test, then scream. It is the latest. And this screen code has been formulated by IRC. Then bump integration situation, also known as noise betterment. I am not very clear about it, but this bump integrator does measure the longitudinal ups and downs. आगे चलो. This is British pendulum. I have never used it. Next. That is digital version of that. It is telling that surface slope is 1.18. Next. हाँ जी, देखिए जरा. Structural profile refer to the structural inadequacy of the pavement related to the load carrying capacity of the pavement is calculated, and the load lying on it should be equal to or less than that. It can be determined by performance distress surveys like deflection testing, non-destructive testing, and material testing. The low transfer efficiency of LTE of the dowel bar needs to be checked periodically to assess the equipment of additional dowel bars in the wheel path. See, payment may be all right, but dowel bar efficiency has gone down. So what do? We choose the wheel path and put 3 extra double bars in that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. This is how it is taken and the structure remains same. Next, all these you kindly skip. I have lifted it from IRCSP 83. You can just remember one drawing shrinkage test. That's all for me. Next. हाँ जी. Somebody, I think not PD Bhiwani, somebody said plastic shrinkage. This is that. Drying shrinkage test surface poor curing. I told you curing is not done, that is why they appear. Hot windy conditions. ठीक है. आगे. Next. I have done not nothing, nor can I do. The longitudinal crack is very well described in IRC SP83. And this black line which is showing up here, this black line, is pressed for a joint. There are 10 protocols which leads to longitudinal crack. 10 here, 12 of that. Transfer. Next. There are 12 reasons. They are all taken from the book. But precaution is where the paver stops more than 30 minutes. Please do not wear the concrete but reactivate it. Next. आगे चलो. Yes, anything. These are all from the book. I think I can skip. आगे चलिए. इसको छोड़ दें. ये बहुत टाइम लग जाए. चलिए आगे. Yes, sir. Go ahead. This is very important. It appears simple, but I took 6 months to do it. It is from a country in South Africa. If you see this formula, this table for bituminous road, it will be reverse. The very good with the very poor, I mean it will be good, excellent, blah blah blah. It is in that code, it is otherwise ours is like this. Next. Hadi. This is the condition. Next. आगे चलिए. Yes, sir. 5 categories given in the table. Somebody's telephone is, I think. Achha. Next. This is important. If not properly jointed, concrete slab may randomly crack in the first 3 hours. However, after placement, which may not be evident, and just after placement, within 3-4 hours, there may be crack. And if misting or fogging is done, this can be white. Improved curing practice. It has come. What is improved curing practice? Timely. But do not, I mean, in the first 1.5 or 2 hours, do only misting or fogging. No ponding. Ponding to be done after making dikes. Improved curing practice are being developed, but there is little that can be done to minimize bleeding once the concrete has been placed. It is very important. It's red. Why do pothole occurs? This is the reason. See, when we use plasticizer, base for the plasticizer is water. When we use it, quite okay. But when we see a pond of this water is on the road surface, this is dangerous. What is to be done? The pond of water, observe it, take the work bridge, soak it with dry cloth 2-3 times. This will be okay. Next. Haji. These are the type of cracks, minor cracks, no, first narrow cracks. Narrow cracks, minor cracks, medium cracks, wide cracks. These depend upon their width and depth. Next. This is a narrow crack. No, this is a go back. It is narrow or shallow. What is it? Anyway, this is from narrow crack. Less than 2 millimeter. This is also narrow crack. This crack is 0.2 to 0.5 mm wide. This is of Kanpur project. I have put my something arrow there. Question arises, the old British specification said if there is such, remove the panels. If I do that, 50% of the road is gone. So I said this can be from the match, this can be from another match. But this arrows were pointing, we make आगे चलिए इसको रिपेयर कैसे दिस इज हाउ इट इज रिपेयर किसी पीडी साहब ने पूछा था somebody asked ये बालासोर टू लक्ष्मणनाथ पैकेज था बालासोर टू लक्ष्मणनाथ yes yes there is a toll plaza and near the toll plaza just before that this is there and this is the condition this is 2 to 5 millimeter 0.2 to 0.5 millimeter this is a family of cracks. Earlier it was 1000 meter. I have put last night 3000 mm because that is the standard. All these aggregates are not more than this plus this plus this plus this. They are not more than 3000. So it will come in the character of stress. Next. These are perpendicular to the direction. This is these cracks repair with oxytol plus NH5. Very same thing. आगे चलो. It has already come. Hope this is duplicate. Next. आगे चलो. Yeah, very typical. The multi-specification said the crack is like this. You remove both the panels. If I do that, more than half the panels are gone. So what I concluded that this may be different batch, this may be different batch of cement, and let it stay. We'll fill it with epoxy, which we did, and no honest loss. आगे चलो. धोला कुआं flyover. You must have seen 7, 8 black spots. I got it done simply from sand and yes, from sand. And just see, scaling has happened near the flyover. Next. Next. रोटी काट ली See, this is being, I am pouring this flowing epoxy. This is L&T project, Lakshman Nath to Balasur, I think 2007 or something like this. And if you do these holes at 300 mm and pour this crack which is seen here, this crack is sealed permanently. Next. Family of cracks not more than 1.5 millimeter wide. This is repaired. Same road, Lakshmanath to Balasur, Odisha, project of L&T. Here also the crack is going on both sides. The court says if such like crack is there, you remove both the panels. I said no. When they are behaving okay, there is no skidding, no other problem. Why should I waste it? Next. The total length of these put together is more than 1 meter. This is from Kanpur project, I think maybe LMNHP 6A or B, remember. This is 2500, year 2005. This has taken place, I marked it with chalk. Very simple. Run the blade, air wash, water wash and air wash. When it is dried in this manner, put epoxy resin. Next. This is it. More than 1.5 mm. The core was taken, it was established, it is more than 1. Next. These are cracks which are superficial or very small, do not need any treatment. Yes. That's all.